Hi, today news is well, you say this is the last day of campaigning, but I am not with the politicians, I am with the people today. Two protests have covered, so basically, at the moment, we are now in the middle of anti right protesters ahead of them against the feral, so the right wing protesters who were with earlier this morning. There were about a couple of hundred of the right wing protesters saying that they want, for example, tougher crackdowns on migration, that they don't feel like the government doing enough following a string of attacks involving foreign suspects. But then on the side you are got or probably 3 or 4 times the number of people on the street saying that they are worried that Germany is going to go right, and this is because, as you were saying, that the Ferrari party is currently polling second. So this, if they get that, will be an historic vote for them. Now their leader says that they are not for right. She claims that they are conservative, but I must point out that some branches of the have been labeled as very right extremes by the German authorities. But what we seen here today is little flashpoints along the route, because I said this group of anti-right protesters is much bigger than the far-right protesters. So when along their march they are sort of met up, there have been flashpoints, the biggest of which was just in the corner a few minutes ago, where we saw police keeping the two groups part of right police holding some of the protesters against the far right to the road, them extremely angry there. You can hear them now that they call these far right elements Nazis, something they Danny, of course they call them fascists. But the fact is that while the march here is not of members of politicians, there is a big debate about the direction in which Germany is going at the moment, and the fact that May poll second concerns a lot of people here, because they believe that is going in the wrong direction. Now people who support the far right, and I spoken to a lot of, feel like the current government doesn't listen to them. They maybe feel like they don't recognize Germany anymore. A lot of the people in the crowd actually were young people, really disenfranchised, angry young people. What they are shouting now is everyone against fascists. But I think it's a really interesting point in Germany history, because there's this agreement at the moment because of the Nazi past that says the most that no democratic party of non mainstream parties will traditionally go into a coalition with the far right, which means even if they come second, that is unlikely anyone will go into coalition with them. And some of the protesters in the far right group say, well, that's undemocratic, you are ignoring the voice of potentially a fifth of the country. They are saying if that happens, that they will go out into the streets again and protest. But then you see this, we were walking down when we were walking with the group of far right pro, and there was a balcony shouting in the street, shame. And it just shows you really the divisions that are opening up here in Germany. These of course are two groups with very specific point of view. This is not every voter, but it does show you that there are divisions in the country here. Thank you.